1. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Llama, and today I am bringing you Game 2 now of the IPL4 Losers Bracket Best of 3 between dkiller, our yellow Zerg, spawning down in the bottom left here of Atlantis Spaceship, and spawning up in the top right corner we do have GoSuVIBE, the green Zerg. So in that last game we saw dkiller have a nice lead, but GoSuVIBE forcing some good engagements, getting off nice fungal growths, just getting about 20 plus roaches. I'd say it was probably like 25 roaches grouped up, chain fungled them to death, and completely turned the tide of the battle. As you can imagine, that's 50 supply instantly dropped, basically for free at the cost of energy. And that basically, from that point on, it just rolled in Vibe's favor, and he was able to keep pressuring, keep dropping his opponent's expansions. And dkiller eventually was just forced to GG out as he lost too many drones once his third was pushed, and he had to pool the drones to fight. So great game right there in Game 1, and now we're going to go ahead and start getting into Game 2. We'll have to see if both players do open up with that hatch first yet again, and I'd be interested to see if dkiller once again opens up gasless as he did in that previous game. He opened up no gas until over 40 supply. So when's the last time you can say in a ZVZ you did not gas until you were past 40 supply? The only time I can ever think of that is my ZVT or ZVP when he forged fast expands, or ZVT when I did Spanishua's build. Those are the only times that I ever did not take a gas until that late. So now it does look like, yep, both players once again opting for that 15 hatch. So I really wonder if they just made an agreement early on. They were like, you know what, let's get some good macro games, because that last game was a great game. And they were like, you know what, 15 hatch, no crazy cheeses, and let's play some really good games. So it looks like GoSuVIBE going to be dropping down his hatch first, or his spawning pool first, and dkiller in the meantime taking a gas, but waiting on that pool for a decent amount of time longer, so about 16 seconds, about 2 supply later, he drops that pool, and instead opts for the earlier gas, so this means he should be able to have outspeed faster. Yeah, he should. So he'll have a couple of seconds of speed faster than his opponent, it looks like. And that's about it. And instead he's just going to also have a slightly better mineral economy there for a tiny amount of time, as you can see. Well, no, because it's going to balance out differently because he took his gas a little later. So he just got a few minerals earlier on, but now he's going to get a few minerals later. I can't quite do all the math with that right now. I'm not even sure how exactly that would work out. But I'm going to say it balances out, and dkiller gets slightly earlier speed, and Vibe gets a couple more minerals. That's what I'm just going to call it at. Let's look at the, yep, so it looks like he has an extra drone and a few more minerals. So I think that's how it works out. He gets like 50 more minerals, Vibe does, and killer gets slightly earlier speed. So it looks like we're going to have dkiller, yep, getting down that speed now. Both players actually getting the speed there, and dkiller's, of course, just about 15-16 seconds ahead of his opponent, and also going for a fast baneling nest right there. So he actually mined with 2 harvesters. A lot of times you'll see players take 2 off right there and only have 1 guy mining on that gas, but instead, no, dkiller did keep 2 on to get an earlier baneling nest. I wonder if that's simply to prevent cheese and going for some sort of defensive play, or if he's going to try and pressure his opponent. He did finally scout out, both players did actually, what their opponent is doing, and no scout goes on there for GoSuVIBE, so he's not going to see the baneling nest, but they both did see 15 hatch going down, and a spine crawler being laid down here for GoSuVIBE at the front. In fact, both players laying down that spine crawler and droning up behind it, so these players simply want to play more of that macro-oriented game style, as we saw in Game 1 right there, and dkiller is probably saying, you know what, I had a lead in that last game, if I can just do the same thing and not get chain fungled right there, I should be good. And so his speed's going to be finishing up right now. We'll have to see if he uses this for scouting purposes at all. I don't think so, though, as he doesn't have any lings anywhere on the map there. Just 2 banelings sitting at his base. So very, very, very safe play by both players here, or defensive play, I should mean. Greedy, yet defensive, as he just simply has these 2 banelings right here to try and deny scouting. He's just going to have to blow 1. No, he's not. So instead he's going to let this ling get in here accidentally, or maybe on purpose. Maybe he's just trying to save his banes. Wasn't really worth it. And yep, once again saves his banes there. So dkiller able to save both of those banelings, and he's just simply saving those for any sort of ling attack. And he's going to send out now one Baneling to go scout, so if Vibe does see this, he can send a Ling over to kill it. But it looks like Vibe as well has no units out, only 2 Banelings, and now we see dkiller starting to follow up with some Lings right here. What does he have in production? More Lings on the way. So where's that units tab? So simply 12 Lings, and now he's droning up behind it. So he's simply trying to force a response out of his opponent, and force he does, as now we can see his opponent morphing in. More Banelings right there, able to snap off 1 Baneling with 1 Ling for free. So that's a nice trade right there for dkiller. And forcing more Banelings, forcing more Lings out, and as we can see, 4 Banelings, and I'd say he has a slight lead. Yep. Nope, he doesn't actually. He's behind in the drone count, but he's making 3 more drones. 6 drones. So there we go. So he's going to be drawing up behind that. So dkiller is going to get a slight drone lead right there. 8 drones, as we can see, and he's able to keep picking off all of these Banelings. So beautifully done by dkiller. In the meantime, trying to get a little something done as well himself. So there's simply going to be this 1 Baneling over here, and will he be able to do any damage? The roaches are going to pop out. However, these Banes are going to start heading towards the mineral line, and he explodes them, I feel like. I'm not sure that they were actually attacked. I feel like he might have accidentally hit the explode command, hit that X button, and now it looks like Vibe was able to defend that successfully. However, in the meantime, dkiller, I'm completely missed that going down, has thrown down a 3rd. Vibe also throwing down a 3rd. But as you can see, there you go. dkiller did drone up behind that fairly well. Both players getting that +1 attack now for the roaches, and we're going to have to see if Vibe's going to make any sort of move towards this. He did send some Lings over here, but I think dkiller should be able to hold this off, as he does have some Lings of his own. So yes, he should be able to force it back. Here we go, and it's just going to be taking a little bit of damage right there, and actually free Lings being trapped in there, so about 3 or 4 of those Lings do go down for free. And dkiller, I would definitely say, in the lead right now, and as you can see, he does have that drone lead. He's got that 3rd base up faster, and it was uncontested by GoSuVIBE. The only nice thing is GoSuVIBE does have the +2 already on the way, so he's got his +1 upgrade finished. He's got speed on the way as well, as he's got his lair completed, so he's going to have a slight tech advantage over his opponent. However, we do see double Evo went down for dkiller, so he knew he was slightly behind in those upgrades, and to change for that, he threw down a 2nd Evo chamber, so now he can slowly catch up and eventually take the lead, actually, if GoSuVIBE does not throw down another Evo as well. And we can see macro hatch being taken here. Always a smart thing, and I would imagine that dkiller would be taking a macro hatch fairly soon as well. Once he's done droning up like crazy right here, already up to 69 drones over his opponent's 55, and we can see GoSuVIBE in the meantime building up 10 roaches right there. So GoSuVIBE opting to make a move instead of droning up behind this. So we do have 11 roaches plus a lot more on the way right now. So they're all heading over there to that 3rd. And will dkiller have enough in time? What's the roach count look like? 21 to 15. However, you have to remember that a lot of these roaches are stuck back here. So it looks like dkiller should be able to hold this. And if he can hold this right here, this is definitely going to give him that lead. As you can see, he already has that drone lead. And this map is so long, it takes forever for those units to get over there. Speed has finished for GoSuVIBE. That is one nice advantage for him over dkiller. So he's going to be able to kind of do some fun chasing there after his opponent, since he can catch him up and run away as well. And I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. dkiller definitely has a lot to defend this. More roaches are streaming in, and actually another drone even. So I think right now GoSuVIBE is simply waiting for this +2 to finish. However, his opponent will have the 1-1 finished at that time, so the upgrades will basically be canceling out. And I think that dkiller should be able to hold this attack right here. GoSuVIBE, though, it's now going to be heading on head-to-head. The roaches are battling it out straight up. There is the 1-1 though right now. Actually, the 2 hasn't finished. There's still 20 seconds on that, so a little bit of a misstep there by Vibe, I would say, attacking before his upgrade finishes. And now dkiller does have the upgrade advantage, and he should be able to simply hold this, though he is outnumbered here by Vibe's sheer number of roaches. Vibe committing straight into all these roaches, while dkiller opting to go for a little bit more tech-heavy path right now. And it's going to be very close, but I think with these reinforcing roaches, this should go in dkiller's favor. However, there are more roaches streaming in now for GoSuVIBE, and it's going to be very, very close. The upgrades, though, are now even as the 1-1 to the 0-2 right here, so I really can't tell which way this is going to go. This is simply trading roaches back and forth. And I think dkiller, no, Vibe just got another stream in of roaches right there. And Contaminate going down actually on that hatch. So I have not seen that in forever, but a very smart player right now, as he definitely wants to prevent as few roaches from coming out as possible. However, it looks like Killer once again with a nice stream of roaches able to hold this, and this is simply back and forth. If you look at the supplies, they are basically dead even at this point. However, it looks like Vibe once again going to be able to start cleaning this up, as the roaches for Killer are taking a little bit longer to stream in. Now if you look at the supplies, Vibe is going to be able to start doing some damage here. Basically, we just want to see dkiller wait this out until he has this +2 right here, or starts to pool drones. As we can see, he has pooled the drones. However, he's losing a decent amount of drones here. He's definitely got to be careful. He needs to defend that, but he needs to be careful with all that drone losses. And all of a sudden, this drone count is basically back to even. If he loses those 4 drones, it would be dead even. However, that gives dkiller enough time right there, enough tank ability from those drones that he should be able to start holding this a little bit better. So more roaches once again streaming in, and now he's going to be focusing down on all of the extra roaches streaming in from GoSuVIBE. They're streaming in from the opposite direction. It looks like GoSuVIBE trying to get some sort of concave right here with another stream, and he should be in good position, but the 2-1 has finished now for dkiller, so dkiller should be able to clean this up now, as he does have the upgrade advantage, and now he's just going to simply start chasing back GoSuVIBE, and GoSuVIBE has fallen into a rough position right there. So these roaches simply going to fall back, and dkiller knows he's ahead. He can continue once again to drone right now, and he has the roach lead as well. It's tied. So tied in the roaches right there, but dkiller does have that 2-1 to his opponent's 1-1 or 0-2, I should say. Sorry, 0-2, and there are no more upgrades coming out from either player. There we go, just now starting a +2 actually for dkiller. So GoSuVIBE is going to be behind in this upgrade race for a long time, it looks like. And that could definitely be the deciding factor a little bit later in this game. We'll have to see exactly how it pans out. We do have pathogen glands going down, so once again you have to remember that dkiller did opt to tech to those infestors, and that's kind of why he had to pull drones at that point, because all of that investment going there could have been into more roaches to help defend. You also have to remember that dkiller did not have a macro hatch. Now he does. But I think he threw that down during the battle, and it wasn't quite finished and in time there. So GoSuVIBE was actually working off of that macro hatch, and now it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a Ling run by right here for dkiller. He's just trying to go and try and pick off some drones, just be annoying, try and get his opponent to kind of deal with other stuff, and actually he's going to try and snipe this hatch off instead. It looks like, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do so. And GoSuVIBE with the big supply lead once again. So I'm not sure where he's getting all of this economy from, but he is just pumping it straight up, and he's going to want a drone transfer there, as he has left this fairly empty, and all of these drones are basically mining out. But it looks like he's going for a game-ending push right here. Will it be enough? Will it be in time? There are a couple of infestors out. It looks like one infestor out actually for dkiller, so GoSuVIBE is going to have to strike fairly quickly. There is going to be a nice fungal growth that does go down right there, and here come out the more infestors to once again fungal growth even more. However, you have to remember that the upgrades still favor dkiller right here, so with these fungal growths, I don't know if it's going to be enough for Vibe. It's going to be very, very close right here, as he did have more roaches right there, but down on the upgrades and down on the fungal growths are not having any infestors at all, and that's going to push GoSuVIBE back. And now you can see a 4th base has gone up for dkiller, and he is just going to once again be in the lead like it was in the last game. We'll have to see if GoSuVIBE is going to be able to take this one away from dkiller. I'm not sure though, as it looks like dkiller has an even greater lead than he did in that last game. And we barely see infestor tech just now out on the way for GoSuVIBE. So Vibe just being very passive, very defensive, throwing down some spine crawlers right here, just saying, you know what, I'm fine taking my time. I'm in no rush. I just want to defend, get a slightly larger economic league, probably max out on some more infestors and roaches, and then go for some sort of game-ending push. And it looks like now he's going to be able to get over here and once again defend his 3rd. He does have the 2-2 now as against the 0-2, so that's going to make it extremely difficult for GoSuVIBE to win any sort of heads-up engagement. And now we see that dkiller has maxed out 200 to the simply 150 army supply of his opponent, and now it's possible we will see a push coming out here from dkiller, pushing to GoSuVIBE, who in the meantime is simply trying to take a 4th base. He has finally drone transferred over there, but that is oversaturated on those minerals just a little bit. And he also has that spine crawler blocking, so everything has to run around that. And it looks like now Killer going to be making that death push, heading over to his opponent's base. He's got that upgrade advantage. He does have the infestors as well. His opponent will be getting out 5 infestors though, so this is what killed dkiller last time, as he was unable to deal with all of the infestor. The chain fungals went down and just killed off his army. So what's going to happen here? Now we do see some splits. One missed fungal does go down for GoSuVIBE right there, and that's going to be huge. And now it's simply going to be a battle of the fungals, a battle of the roaches with the upgrades, and it looks like dkiller should be able to win this game right here. And this time I feel a little bit safer calling it. A nice fungal growth does go down though for GoSuVIBE, so that should be able to delay a little bit longer, but you have to remember that he is simply not able to produce as much as dkiller. dkiller working off of the 5 bases, GoSuVIBE barely working off of the 4. He does have that 5th base actually up now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. It looks like dkiller is going to just continue pushing in. He is up about 80 supply right now, 75 supply over his opponent. Of course, he does have that upgraded advantage as well, still over his opponent. Infested Terrans going down with these roaches. And dkiller, all he has to do is get one more good push in here. I might suggest dropping back just for a quick second to regroup. He's just going to push in here, take off the spine crawler, try and take out a few more of these roaches, and now he should be able to actually push in and do some decent damage right here. And I don't think that GoSuVIBE really has the production capabilities to keep up with dkiller. He doesn't have the economy either. Actually, he does have the economy, but he doesn't have the upgrades. And he doesn't have the supply lead, basically. So it looks like dkiller 100 supply now, just going to continue pushing in, and this should be close to the end. He's also starting his +3 upgrades, just in case there's going to be anything beyond this, in case his opponent does have any surprise. And no, he does not. GG out from GoSuVIBE. So that has tied this series up 1-1. What another great game between these two players. And I will see you guys in Game 3. My name is MrLlama. Thank you for watching.